Hey, it's Brian. Welcome to Reclaimed Republic. Today I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about pots and pans. Not a very exciting subject, but it's something that in the reselling business can be very profitable, and thought it was worth some conversation. I was thinking about that as I was packing up a saucepan, two different saucepans that I sold yesterday. I was packing those up this morning, and then I got a sale for a stock pot this afternoon that I'll be shipping on Monday. It's Friday right now, and so just was thinking about, the logistics behind buying, selling, listing, cleaning pots and pans, and wanted to get into some more conversation about that. So we're going to talk about the timing or seasonality for pots and pans. We're going to talk about brands. We'll talk about the sourcing, cleaning, and for myself, I just started a SKU system specifically for pots and pans, because you may get several that look alike. They're the same size, same brand, and then you're trying to tell the difference between them because this one had a scratch here and this one didn't. And it's a lot easier if you just look at the sticker that has the number and you know which item to pull. So, all right, so first let's talk about seasonality. Now, pots and pans sell year-round. People are cooking for their families all year long, but there's definitely some seasonality to it. So most families, even if they don't cook a lot during the year, they are probably cooking for Thanksgiving, and they're probably cooking for Christmas dinner, New Year's Eve dinner, when there's big family gatherings, which, very popular this time of year. So you're going to have people looking for a replacement piece, a new piece, maybe just a lid for something that, is missing from their set, so that they can complete the family meal that they want to make for those holidays. So for Thanksgiving, Christmas time is a huge time for sales. And really, in my mind, I was late this year. I've been better than I was in the past. In the past, I've just been very lackadaisical on pots and pans in general, even though I've sold some throughout my time reselling. But I was late this year. Only in the past week or so have I gotten everything listed way past Thanksgiving, but selling a little bit for Christmas. I think you'd really want to have your inventory listed, anything you have, by about at the latest mid-October, as people are starting to think about their Thanksgiving meal and what piece they may be missing or looking for. I personally saved up a lot, and I did mine in batches because I would frequently buy things that needed some cleaning, and I didn't want to sit down and get all the supplies out, clean one thing, put everything back, and then go on about my business. I saved up until I had, a little Tupperware bin full, and then I clean it all at once and then get it ready to list. So that's my personal system. Make sure you do what works for you. But that's what I do. So let's talk about brands. So the first brand I was really introduced to myself was Revereware. It's a pretty common brand, but still in demand. So if you see Revereware out on a shelf, the first thing that I notice whenever I'm walking through a thrift store section, walking in a garage sale or an estate sale, is I always look for this handle right here. This handle with little swirl, that's the telltale sign right there. And the more modern ones, you won't see the screws in it. The more vintage ones, you'll see the screws. And if you're looking at, say, just a lid section, you'll notice the rings on the lid. So that is a Revereware lid. Now, there's solid stainless steel Revereware, and then there's the stainless steel with the copper-clad bottoms. The copper-clad bottoms by far outsell the all stainless steel. And copper-clad bottoms are going to look like this. So you're going to see that ring of copper around the bottom, and you're going to see it on the bottom. Whenever you find them, a lot of times secondhand, you don't necessarily see them like this. It looks more like a dirty copper, brown, like an old dirty penny, because they're not shined up. And there's even different types of Revereware. So this one's more vintage with the screws. And you may even see people list it on eBay as like 2 circle or 2 lines or something like that. You'll see the 2 circles down here around the Revereware logo, where the more modern stuff doesn't have the circles around it. So that's the first brand I was exposed to. There's a lot of it for sale. There is demand for it. You just need to make sure that you're good on your price as far as being competitive, not bottom dollar cheap, but being competitive, listing at the market price. And then personally, I promote all my Revereware at 2 to 3%, depending on the piece. Some are more in demand than others, and you can promote less. So I was picking up and reselling Revereware whenever I heard the name Saladmaster from somebody, I don't remember who, online. And this past June, I found my first piece of Saladmaster, and you'll notice it has that swooped. So it has kind of a little swoop right here in the handle, but you've also got finger grips here on the bottom. You'll see it says Saladmaster. I don't know if you can see that on the handle. Yep, there it is. It has a screw-in handle, so they may be loose whenever you pick them up at, say, a thrift store or garage sale. You can tighten those up, and you're in good shape. You'll notice they're very heavy. This is a triple clad or tri-clad stainless steel. If the handle wasn't a giveaway, unless it's scratched off, you'll see it says Saladmaster right there, Dallas, Texas, tri-clad stainless steel. A lot of times, I don't think all, but a lot of them will have these little spout lids to let steam escape. So that is kind of a giveaway. And it says Saladmaster on the handle as well. So there's a lot of call outs on Saladmaster to watch out for. Usually you're going to get a little bit more money for a Saladmaster than you are on the Revereware. When you see full sets for sale, they're hundreds of dollars if they're in really, really good shape. So something like this is probably a $35 piece right here for that one. So that was the second brand I learned. The next brand I learned was Permanent Stainless Steel. I don't have any of those currently here, but it is a 5-ply stainless steel, similar to, this is a tri-clad, but it's a 5-ply stainless steel. It is very heavy, and it has just a more angled handle, same screw-in type feature, and similar type lid. But you'll see them, if you're walking through and you're seeing brands that you don't recognize, just picking them up. When you feel that really, really heavy weight and it's all stainless steel, that's when you know you've got something, and you can try to look up the brand. It'll be either listed on the bottom or imprinted on the side somewhere, maybe on the handle, but just keep an eye out for those. Next brand is going to be Calphalon. Not all Calphalon. There's a lot out there. You can get Calphalon at TJ Maxx. You can get Calphalon at Home Goods, which is like, the home side of TJ Maxx. You can get it at Target. You can get Calphalon at lots of places, but you want to look for Calphalon Commercial. So I recently picked some up that is the anodized aluminum, which is the residential version of Commercial. The only difference that I can see on it at all is it doesn't say Commercial on it. I've held the residential next to the Commercial, looked at them side by side, and you literally, the model numbers are the same of the saucepans. The only difference is it's not stamped Commercial. So this is Calphalon. This is a more vintage piece. You can tell by the way the handle's angled. These will be like a darker black most of the time, but this one hasn't been cleaned or touched at all, so I haven't touched this one. But you'll notice here on the bottom, it is written Commercial right there. So you'll see that. And then it also says it on the matching lid. It'll say Commercial. So you want to look out for that. You can sell the anodized aluminum, the thick black saucepans and skillets as well. But and for nearly the same price as the commercial just has an exponentially higher sell-through rate on eBay than the residential products do. And this is an aluminum, anodized aluminum. So this isn't stainless steel. This is a very, very, very thick, heavy gauge aluminum. It's very heavy, very well built. And then the fifth brand that I like to watch out for is Le Creuset, or, you know, if you're from Oklahoma, you can say Lee Creuset. I'm from Oklahoma. That's an Okie joke. But you're going to see bright colors like this. Some maybe orange, or that reddish with an orange, or all orange, or green, or blue, different colors. This is enameled, cast iron enamel. So you're going to have Dutch ovens, skillets, saucepans, all sorts of stuff from this brand. One did giveaway, especially on some of these older pieces. It actually has the brand right there in the lid, and it'll say France on the inside of it. I don't believe everything comes from France today. I'm not an expert there, so check that for yourself. But I know a lot of the older stuff is stamped France inside. This stuff, again, is very heavy, well built. It sells well, even with chips on the enamel on the pieces because of the cast iron, and just does really well. Think of like, you know, the cast iron skillets like the Lodge, and the Lodge is really kind of a low-end brand. It's everywhere. But like the Wagner ware cast iron skillets with an enamel finish on there to add a bunch of color. So kind of a decorative version of that. But that sells really well. So those are the brands that I've gotten, you know, a little bit more into, that I have in my inventory currently. And just give you kind of a snapshot here of what my inventory looks like. So we've got all the Revere ware stacked up there. I have it all shrink wrapped so that I can, you know, kind of not bang things around, but stack everything on top of each other and not have to worry about it scratching up or anything like that. And you can see all the other stuff right down there. And then you can see like the SKU labels that I've got there to kind of keep it all organized. So sorry for the close-up face shot there. Trying to figure out how to flip the camera around. So now that we've talked about the brands, let's talk about cleaning. So a lot of times whenever you get things in, you get them in, you know, need to be cleaned. And some of them you can just do a little bit of warm soapy water and get it all cleaned up. But in the case of Revere ware, where you have that copper-clad bottom, you really want to, you know, give it a little more attention and bring that copper back to life. People like that. You can sell them on eBay not cleaned up. You're going to get less money. That's just the way that you're, you know, trading your labor for money. That's the way that works. So my process for quite a while has been wash them off first to get any dirt, dust, anything on there that's on there. And then I use Barkeeper's Friend right here. I use the liquid version. I also have the powder version. I don't like it as much personally, so I use this liquid version. And then I use just a sponge with it's a non-abrasive kind of scrub part on the back of it. This is a lot softer, obviously, whenever it's wet. And I'll let it sit on there for about a minute, the Barkeeper's Friend, and then I'll just go in with the damp sponge and I'll start working it on that copper side. And it doesn't take but about, man, I don't know, 2-3 minutes to bring that copper back to life. There's things you can do with salt and lemon juice or salt and vinegar if you want to bring, if you have a lot of really, really, really baked on stains or stuff on the bottom of that copper as well. I tend not to I tend to not clean that far. I use the Barkeeper's Friend, and that's been about as far as I go. And you can usually, so something like this is all done with Barkeeper's Friend, and this was super, super brown all the way around the bottom. And this was pretty, I'd say cloudy or dirty, whatever you want to call it, around it. Recently, I did watch a video and I saw somebody using this Mother's mag and aluminum polish. This is for vehicles, but you know, they recommended it for bringing a really, really high shine to your pots and pans. I've used it on a few. Personally, I can't tell the difference whenever I add that versus when I've just used the Barkeeper's Friend. So I'm probably not going to keep that in my arsenal of cleaning, but I'm going to give it a couple more shots and just see if I can see any difference side by side, and go from there. Because really, whenever I've used it, it only adds a couple minutes onto the process. And again, I'm doing this in batches. I'm not just doing one at a time and putting everything up and putting it away and taking it out and stuff like that. So I'm going to try it a couple more times and see if I can't get better results out of it. Just again, to fetch a little bit higher price for the items that I'm selling. And then the last couple of items on Revereware, a lot of times this lid's a little bit dingy. I did go over this one and I couldn't get it to take. The handle is a lot nicer than it was. A lot of these handles get really weathered. These older ones you can unscrew and take them apart off the saucepans or the skillets. The more modern versions you can't. So you just take some wet dry sandpaper. This is a 1500 grit. This is a really fine grit. So it kind of takes the top coat off the handle whenever it's really weathered. So it'll be like gray looking, really. It'll look pretty bad. So you kind of take the top coat off, and then you can go back in with some mineral oil. And I've had mixed results. I've had some handles take it really well, and they end up looking really nice. Not factory. They're not a high polish black handle anymore, but they are a deep black handle. I've had some take it really well, and I've had some not take it really well. I can't tell you why some do and why some don't. I just know it works that way, but I've gotten some to look a lot nicer. And again, that process is probably, sanding it is maybe a minute, mineral oil, 30 seconds to put it on, and then let it dry, and then just wipe it down. So after that, as I was accumulating, I decided I wanted to use a SKU system because I had some of the Revereware saucepans that were the same exact size, and I could really only tell them apart by looking at where there was a scratch on one and not on the other. And I didn't want to have to, when I went back and sold a piece, zoom in on every photo to find those little things, and then find that item out of find that needle in the haystack to get it shipped out. So I went ahead and used the little silver stickers that you saw there. Here's a sample of one that I took off one of the pieces I'm showing you. But I just bought them off of Amazon. I realize the irony is I bought them on Amazon when I'm talking about selling pots and pans on eBay. But I just got a giant roll of those for $6. And as I shrink wrap all my pots and pans, and then I'll put the sticker on it so I can go back and find that easily later on. And I have to hunt around forever for the right one to get it shipped off. I've been shipping a lot of these in double wall boxes. I buy some boxes off of a guy on Facebook Marketplace who gets them from a comic shop, and he collects them all up and calls me when he has a giant bundle of boxes, packing material, everything for $10. And there's a 14 by 11 by 8 box that works really, really well. Keeps the product safe. The box has a lot of integrity. And again, it's a double wall box, and I weigh the boxes and I factor the weight into the dimensions whenever I'm pricing it, because I do calculated shipping on all my pots and pans. So that's really, other than just making sure that I already mentioned this, pricing at the market price. I don't look at any of the listed prices really whenever I'm looking at the listings. I look for, the same type of item, how many are currently available. So if there's 100 available, I just see there's 100, and then I click sold. And if it says there's 50 sold, then I start looking by the dates sold, and I'm looking at what the prices they're selling for right now or most currently. And I want to be in that ballpark. I don't want to go, well, I think mine looks slightly shinier, or my handle, I like it just a little bit better, so I'm going to price it up. I typically price it right in line. I may round up to, if somebody sells it for 15, I sell mine for $15.89. I end all my stuff in 89 whenever it's brand new. So that's just, personal preference. But again, I think that's about all I can say about pots and pans. It's about 20 minutes worth of pots and pans talk. If you have any questions or comments, again, I'm not an expert, but I'm happy to help in any way I can. Please leave any comments or questions down below. If you like this content about pots and pans and selling them on eBay, definitely consider subscribing down below as well. I hope you have a great day. Bye.